Not only did James Gunn recently have old posts uncovered that state he is not a fan of anything that Tim Burton did with Batman and hates those films, there's also now posts where he says he's not a fan of Chris Nolan's take on Batman or those films. Yup, he just dug his own grave. Now, we know that The Dark Knight is a perfect film. You can't say anything bad about it, and if you do, suddenly you literally committed war crimes, which is exactly why when I say it's like an 8.5 for me and I prefer Batman Begins, I get endless hatred, and I get called a hater, despite these same people literally seeing my collection of The Dark Knight and saying, wow, you literally have everything, don't you? And I go, yeah. Still though, 8.5 ain't good enough. But apparently it is now, because James Gunn has committed the cardinal sin of pointing out what he doesn't like about Chris Nolan's films. So I'm just going to toss this up on the screen, and here we go. He talks a little bit about Michael Keaton's voice and how much he hated it, but he also then goes on and talks about more stuff in there, right? Talks a little bit more about, well, Nolan's films. He says Nolan's films, I don't think either one is classic. Now, this time, this is before The Dark Knight Returns had released. And obviously that's what he's talking about. That's why he's only referencing the two films. And he says he doesn't think Batman Begins is good. He does think that these films are superior to Tim Burton's, but as you can see, he's still not a fan of them. And he credits, well, Judge Dredd as being the first dark take and all that. Well, I mean, just read it. It's all here for yourself, right? Yeah. He's not a fan of Batman's older films, clearly. Now, there's more stuff out there if you guys just want to go dig through James Gunn's personal replies and history, which people are clearly doing. But at the end of it, just remember it's his opinion. He doesn't have to love The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. Most of you know my favorite DC film of all time is Batman Begins. It's in my top 3 comic book films of all time, easily. And I don't agree with him, but I respect his opinion because it's clearly not his thing. We know he doesn't like Batman being serious. He likes campy Batman. Hence why they gave it the title Brave and the Bold. And they keep saying it's gonna be different. I mean, did James Gunn ever really openly talk about the Batman? Not that I remember, not a whole lot. I don't think he likes that either. I think he's more of a fan of a, you know, campier Batman, comic style Batman that's more lighthearted. So it's not surprising that he doesn't like the serial, realistic takes on these characters.